the Apex, otherwise known as the highest point. Is this the high point of e-bikes? At almost $6,000, the QuietKat Apex is a serious e-bike that costs some serious dough. But is this mid-drive bike worth it? Keep on watching our honest review to find out more. All right, so I am sitting on the apex of the area that is around me, which is not very high. There are some mountains in the distance here, but that was a cool shot, so we'll use it here. This is the Apex. Now, I've actually had this bike for a couple of months, but I wasn't able to review it because I had some issues putting it together, and I'll talk about that more in just a second. But this is a true mid-drive e-bike. It's got a Bafang motor. It's got the 1,000 watt motor. And if you notice, the motor's right here instead of back here like most other e-bikes. Now, I'll show you how this works here more in just a second, but I want to highlight a couple of other things before I go take this on a ride and show you how it really performs. First of all, bike $6,000 almost. It does come with this rear rack, but you know it does not come with? A front light or fenders. I was really surprised it didn't come with that. The bike does have hydraulic disc brakes, which are awesome. They work really good. This is just an awesome fat tire e-bike with a mid-drive motor. Now, it took me a little bit of time to get used to riding the mid-drive motor because it's not like the regular motors. I'm gonna do a full video on the differences between mid-drive and rear hub motors. Most motors sit right back here. This motor is right here, and it actually turns the chain. The other e-bikes that we've tested, the rear drive motors, don't turn the chain. In fact, when we push the throttle, the chain is not moving whatsoever. I'll show you a close-up here in just a second. But this bike is super seriously heavy duty. The battery's integrated here. But let's go take this for a ride. It's about 70 pounds. This is the medium size, the 1,000 watt motor. And they have 3 different sizes, 3 different colors. Let's go take this for a drive and I'll let you know my honest thoughts. Let's go. Now, this e-bike is rather large. It's probably the largest e-bike we've tested just in terms of overall size. And that's not a bad thing, but it's just a big bike. This bike was made for off-roading. Now, I'm not gonna go seriously off-roading on this, but this is a little bit of a hill. They're working on a project here that I can take it on and show you just how it works. You power on here. It does have 2 different modes. It has normal eco mode and it has a sport mode. I have this on sport mode. I'm in pedal assist level 1, and it does have this thumb throttle, not the shifter, not the right twist throttle that some other e-bikes have. The throttle is right here. Of course, like other e-bikes, if you are holding the brake, you cannot push the throttle. But let's go take this a spin, and I'm gonna show you where it shines the most off-roading first. Now, as with all e-bikes, taking them off-road, be very careful. They have more power than what you probably even realize. They recommend that you start in a relatively easy gear to get going. So we will do that. And I'm gonna show you a little trick here, actually. If you are on this e-bike and you are in a rather high gear and you want to jump down to one, you can actually take the bike, tip it over, and you can actually use the throttle to spin the wheels and shift it into an easier gear. So we're gonna do that, starting an easy gear for you. I'm on pedal assist level 1, whoops. Gotta make sure that that wheel is not spinning anymore when you get off of it, but let's go take this for a spin and I will tell you what is happening. So I'm gonna start on this flat part here. Once again, lowest gear, easiest to pedal, and I am in pedal assist level 1, which is super low key. Just like other e-bikes that have a throttle, you can use it to start. They don't recommend that because it can wear on the chain and the motor a little bit, but I'll do it just to show you how it starts. Pretty easy, huh? Oh man, let's try that again. Actually, I am an idiot. I'm in the highest gear. Isn't it confusing? The lowest gear is the biggest one, so I'm just gonna shift all the way up. Shift does pretty good here. Okay, now I'm in the highest gear, and I mean, it's almost comical to see how high of a gear this is here. Now, let's get in like maybe 3rd gear here. I'll show you a little bit more how it goes. This bike is made for handling off-roading like this. Woo! Now let's go take it up this little bumpy spot over here. Even third gear is super high gear. I'm gonna go in 8 miles an hour here, not very high. Let's go up to fourth gear. This bike does not show you what gear you're in, which is kind of odd. I believe it does have 9 gears total. And just like other e-bikes, you can adjust your pedal assist level really easily. Here, and yeah. Oh yeah, let's get a little higher gear. Ooh. And it helps tackle that hill pretty easily. This is where this e-bike shines, just to be honest with you. It takes off on any hill, any kind of environment you throw at it without a problem. And it does handle steep hills pretty well too. I will show you here. I'm gonna actually get into, I'm in still medium gear, but I'm gonna go and jump up to level 5 and just show you with throttle how this works. Woo! Easy, breezy, beautiful. Let's go down a little bit over here. Now, pedal assist level 5 is a little bit jerky, but that's okay. You can always go down really easily, and woo, that's pretty sweet. I mean, this e-bike is, I would love it to go take us up in the mountains. Maybe I will here next, but oh yeah, there you go. I'm only in pedal assist level 2 there. Not using the throttle whatsoever. To be honest with you, on something like the Rad Rover 5 or Rad Rover 6, I probably would use pedal assist there more. The gears play an interesting role in using this e-bike that I've never had to work with any of the other e-bikes, because I checked out that V-Volt Sirius e-bike. You can check out the review here. And it was only 1 gear, but it had a special system that allows you to adjust the ratio, which basically acts like it was multiple or really infinity gears, which is kind of cool. But the whole concept of gears on an e-bike with a motor that he uses is kind of like a car. So once again, I'm gonna go into my highest gear here. And the highest gear won't let me go any farther, that's how you know. And I'm gonna do it like pedal assist level 3, just to show you, ooh, those brakes work good. Just to show you how this works. You'll notice that the chain is always running, and I'll do a close up here once again in just a second. But when you shift gears, it's just like a car. You have to let off the gas a little bit. And so the motor actually cuts off here, which is pretty cool. So keep on watching here and I'll show you exactly how this goes. I'm in highest gear, pedal assist level. I'm gonna do 4 just to exaggerate a little bit, because it can take a little bit of time if you are starting out in pedal assist level 1 if you're just using the throttle. But I think this illustrates how exactly the mid-drive motor and the gears work together pretty well. So check it out. 0 miles an hour right now, pedal assist level 4, only using throttle. Here we go. So start off. So there's 1. I'm in first gear, going 5 miles an hour. Whoop, go to 2. I'm 12 miles an hour. 3, 4, going 15 miles an hour. 6, going 17 miles an hour. Next gear, I'm up to 19, 20, next gear, 21, 22 and a half, and I gotta stop. About 23 miles an hour is what I got going. But you can see how the mid-drive motor really works in conjunction with the gears. Now I'm obviously in the highest gear, second highest gear now. Let me show you, let me just get you going a little bit. I'll do pedal assist level 5 just to show you how it all works. Let's get back up in the highest gear. Woo, pedal assist level 5 is pretty peppy. Okay, highest gear, right? Okay, now, well, geez. All right, I'll start out again at 0 and show you how this goes. Highest gear, pedal assist level 5. Now check this out. Whoa. I'm going 13 miles an hour. Next gear, a little faster. Next gear, next gear, next gear, next gear, going 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 25.6 miles an hour. Woo! I'm sailing. Whoa. Now that is just using throttle. It really picks up. Woo! The one thing about this e-bike that I didn't really know much getting into the world of mid-drive motors versus rear hub motors is that this bike, you do have to have a little bit more attention to what you're doing, because you can have the pedal assist levels and you have the gears, and the gears really do influence how the bike responds to what you're doing. When you're using a rear hub drive motor, the back of the wheel just spins. It actually doesn't even use the gears whatsoever. That's why the gears make such a big difference on a rear hub motor, or on a mid-drive motor, I'm sorry. As I mentioned, when you are using just throttle, the engine is actually, why do I keep saying the engine? The motor is actually pushing the chains for you, just like you are. Little big truck. Whew. And for that reason, a lot of the people that are pure cyclists really like the mid-drive motor experience, because it's very natural feeling, right? You just feel like I'm just pedaling and my legs have got some extra muscles. In the rear hub motor, the bike just goes. I mean, it's really not even in relationship to how fast you are going. Now I'm gonna take you on the bumpiest road that I've ever been on an e-bike, and I just wanna see how this e-bike performs compared to some of the others that I've tested. This bike is made for what they call abusers. 25 miles an hour, no problem. That was pretty impressive. I don't care who you are. That was pretty freaking sweet. Definitely handled a lot better than some of the other bikes that I've tested. Whew, that's fun, man. All right, let's go explore some more. I'll tell you some more of the highlights of this e-bike here. All right, so I've got a little bit of clearing here. Let me tell you why I had so many problems with this e-bike. I got it put together. It was actually really easy to put together, but I couldn't figure out what was going on with the gears. I did all the research, I checked out all the things, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with the gears. Let's just go this way. The gears, turns out the chain had one kind of crooked chain, which could have been, you know, okay. One crooked link in the chain. And the other thing was it was about 2 links too long. So I actually had a professional bike mechanic who lives in my neighborhood come and look at it, fix it up, tune it up. And it was a little bit frustrating, just to be honest with you. That's the only time I've had to have someone really come and look at my e-bikes. I do have someone look at my e-bikes most of the time. I'm going to donate them or give them to a friend or something, just to make sure they're safe and I put them together right. And I would always recommend you do that. But one of the good things about QuietKat is that you can buy them at a local retailer. Here locally, they're at Sportsman's Warehouse and a really nice chain called Shields, which is awesome. So you can get them tuned, looked at, put together professionally there without having any worries that it's going to actually work, which is cool. So that is a major plus for this e-bike. You can buy it online. You can buy it direct to consumer, or you can go and buy it at somewhere like Shields. So the bike mechanic was very perplexed that the chain was so loose, and that I just had a crooked chain that had some metal shavings put in, which happens. So that's normal. But he was impressed that when you are switching gears, if I hit the throttle and I switch gears, the motor actually shuts off for just a second. Just like once again, if you're driving a car, it goes like that. Pretty cool. But this bike really can handle pretty much anything you throw at it. I'm very pleasantly surprised with this. Once again, I had this in my house for a couple months, and we had snow here a couple weeks ago, Memorial Day, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to be able to take this off a little bit off-roading. I'd love to take it off to some mountains and give a little bit more of a review, but whoa, that's pretty awesome. Sometimes people ask how I film these. I have an invisible selfie stick, which is mounted right here, which I maybe saw I kind of maneuver around that guy weird because it sticks up here, and if I moved around this way, I would see him. But anyway, just don't want to hit somebody. Don't want to be that jerk on the bike trail with the electric bike. Now let's go up a fairly steep hill here and just see how this handles. I am in the highest gear. Whoop, or yeah, the most difficult gear, I should say. Yep, I sure am. Looks like there is a storm coming through. What else is level 5? Let's do it. Speed bump, speed jump. Whoa! 26 miles an hour. That's pretty stinking awesome. 28? Holy moly. That's pretty cool. Uphill. 29 miles an hour uphill. That's pretty awesome. Now here, I'm at an abandoned cattle farm. Why? Not because I like the smell, because I'm showing you there was cattle here. The exact place that this bike was designed to thrive and to be ridden. This e-bike was really designed for what they call their abusers. People are gonna be tough on a bike, wants to throw anything they can at it and really need a heavy duty bike. And that's really not me, which is okay. But I can imagine having this in exchange for maybe then a ATV or four-wheeler or something like that. It'd be awesome because you can be quiet, hence the name, and sneak up on a deer if you want to go hunting with this. It'd be a great hunting bike. Has a lot of really cool accessories with trailers and different cargo packages. But this is really where this bike was meant to be ridden, not really here, which it can be. If you want a really serious e-bike, then check out this QuietKat Apex 10. It is the heaviest duty e-bike we've tested. MidDrive motor will last you a long time, especially this one. And it's a great bike, it really is. But for $6,000, if you don't need to be out there amongst the cattle, then you could probably get away with something that wasn't quite so expensive. But other than the fact that I had to have some help putting this together, this e-bike, pretty awesome. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know below. I hope to see you again real soon. There's a bunch of bugs back here. Yeah, I got one in my ear. I hate that. You ever paranoid one's gonna get in your ear and lay eggs? I am.